Dazn have announced their broadcast team. And from what I can see here, I'm not too familiar with some of the names, but the names I do know, I'm not particularly impressed with. I do like to have informative, eloquent commentators that are able to enhance my viewing experience when I'm watching a boxing match. But I also like the ability to switch the commentary off. I wish some of these broadcasters had that function. Maybe it's one of the reasons they don't have that function, like a button you can press to switch the commentary off and listen to a fight without commentary. Maybe the reason they don't have that function is because they're worried about copywriting, somebody else putting their own commentary on it and what have you and claiming it as their own. I don't know. But anyway, I'm looking at this lineup here and I'm not impressed. Sugar Ray Leonard is part of the DAZN presentation team or commentary team, broadcast team. Sugar Ray Leonard is a terrible commentator. He was a great fighter, a fantastic fighter, an ATG. But as a commentator, he's horrible. I remember him back in the days as a commentator in the 80s, 90s, etc. He was pretty bad then, but as an old man, he's even worse. Let's be real. That's my opinion on Sugar Ray Leonard as a commentator. They had Ray Leonard as a commentator in the early days of PBC, and he was horrible then. Notice he hasn't been back on PBC for quite a while, certainly not on a regular basis. They've got other people on there like Virgil Hunter and Antonio Tarver and people who are actually good. Sugar Ray Leonard is not good. Yeah, he's a name, and maybe they'll be able to sell DAZN using the Ray Leonard name because he's still, I guess, a well-known figure in America. But as a commentator, as a presenter, he's horrible. Next one here, Brian Kenny. Now, Brian Kenny is actually good. Brian Kenny used to work for ESPN for many years. He is a good presenter and he's a decent enough commentator. So Brian Kenny is definitely a good addition. Kay Adams and Chris Mannix. I've probably heard these guys or seen them. What's it say here? Ray Leonard and Brian Kenny will call the action. Kay Adams and Chris Mannix will host each fight night. And LZ Granderson will report from ringside. Okay, so Ray Leonard and Brian Kenny are the commentators. Kay Adams and Chris Mannix are the hosts. And Granderson will report from ringside. All right. And they'll be doing Joshua against Povetkin this weekend. It gives a breakdown here on some of the people. Ray Leonard, we all know who he is. I don't need to read none of that. Kenny, you should know who he is. He's worked for many, many years on ESPN. He's a good commentator and a good presenter. I'll give them that. Adams and Mannix will host each. Adams is best known for hosting Good Morning Football on the NFL and DirecTV's Fantasy Zone. Mannix is an award-winning boxing writer for Yahoo Sports and has worked as a ringside reporter for NBC, Showtime, and Epix. He currently hosts the popular Yahoo Sports boxing podcast and has also covered NBA for multiple outlets over the past 15 years. All right, I need to check out the Yahoo Sports boxing podcast to find out who this guy is and if he's actually talented at all as a presenter. LZ Granderson will handle ringside reporting duties for DAZN. The award-winning journalist has covered everything from NBA and tennis for ESPN to national politics for ABC. Okay. All right, I'll have to look at some of these other people here. If you know them, let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. Are they good? Early action at each Matchroom USA fight night will be called by broadcast veteran Todd Grisham. Okay, so the early action will be called by Todd Grisham and Sergio Mora. Additionally, Akin Reyes and Barack Bess will also be calling the early fights on the PBC fight nights. Sergio Mora is not a bad commentator. Todd Grisham, I can't remember who he is. These are American people, so I'm not as familiar with a lot of the American commentators as obviously I know the big American commentators, the Max Kellermans and the Jim Lampleys and Larry Merchants and all them kind of people there, you know, Bernstein and the people I've already mentioned, Tarver and all them people. I know them guys, but the lesser known people, the people who cover a lot of the other sports outside of boxing, I'm not so familiar with them. So you guys let me know what you think of this broadcast team. But of the names that I am familiar with, Kenny is good. Ray Leonard is terrible. The others, I don't really know. So you let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's Hatman, I'm out.